Come on, make some noise. Come on, man, you got this now. Hey! Here we go. The Lord is blessing me right now. Right now. Oh, right now. I said the Lord is blessing me right now. Right now. Oh, right now. Oh, right now. You want me? You want me? Started me. Right now. Oh, right now. Back to the top. The Lord. Come on, everybody. I said the Lord. Right now. Right now. You want me? Right now. Oh, right now. Verse 2. He wants me. I was told. He did. 6-2. He wants me. He wants me. How many know he wants you up this one? It's not too old to work. Right now. Oh, right now. Verse 2 again. He wants me. I was told. Oh, he did now. Let me speak. He wants me. He wants me. Started it. The Lord is blessing me. Right now. Oh, right now. Back to the top. The Lord is blessing me. Y'all be blessing. Right now. I said. Oh, right. I said the Lord is blessing me. Right now. All right now. He wants me. Started me. The Lord is blessing 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 me. Who knows? Right now. Oh, right now. Put your hands together. Your hands, can you put the hands on it? Come on, sister. Here we go. Anybody know? Somebody say, Lord. Bless his name. The Lord. Bless his name. Everybody say the Lord. And bless his name. The Lord. And bless his name. Lord, right now. Oh, don't go to your feet. Clap your hands. So that sounds good. You ought to clap your hands like the devil had in between your hands. Anybody know that the Lord is blessing you? You ought to clap your hands like the devil had it between your hands. Y'all ain't somebody need to get you one. Y'all ought to tip on the devil right there. Hey! Hey! Give it glory! He is tempted. I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempted he any man. But every man is tempted. Somebody say tempted. Tempted. When he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Read that verse again. I need everybody to listen to that. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then when lust has conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. I want to talk about overcoming temptation during the test.
All right.
Overcoming temptation during the test. Look at your neighbor and say, overcoming temptation.
Overcoming temptation.
During the test.
During the test.
The fact of the matter is, tests and trials are the inevitable. They are the inevitable. You're going to have to go through something in life. But the problem becomes, can I resist temptation while being tested?
Yeah.
Can I resist temptation while going through?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Can I, when things done got hard in the midst of my test, can I keep myself from cussing somebody out?
Yeah.
Can I keep myself from getting so mad that I stop coming to church? I got to get to a point to where I don't yield to temptation during the test.
Amen.
We've been looking at what James has been saying to us in this chapter. Verse 2, he says, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptation. He says, if you're going to be victorious during your trials, you got to learn how to count it. Y'all talk back to me. You know it by now. Count it all joy. Not just some of it, but all of it. Count it all joy. When you fall into diverse temptation, he says, how can you do this? Knowing this.
Yeah.
Everybody say, knowing this.
Knowing this.
That the trying of your faith worketh patience. You can shout when you're facing anything. You can have a smile on your face. I don't care how bad it seems, when you know that God's hand is on your life.
Yeah.
Amen.
Touch your neighbor real quick if you're not too scared. Say, neighbor. Do you know that you know that you know that God's hand is on your life? Well, if God's hand is on your life, then there's no need to trip when trouble comes. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. He's trying to create patience in you. Then he says in verse 4, but let patience have a perfect work, that you may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. Then in verses 5 through 8, he talks about wisdom.
Yeah.
He says, if you're going to be victorious while you're going through trials, you've got to have wisdom. Because wisdom is not just knowledge. I've been saying it for a month now. Wisdom is not just knowledge, but wisdom is applied knowledge. There's many people know what to do, but don't do what they ought to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it again.
Amen.
There's many of us know what to do, but we don't do what we should do when we know what we should do.
Yeah.
We know what to do, but we don't always do it. Sometimes you're in the midst of your trial and God tell you, be quiet. Just be quiet. And you still got to run your mouth.
Come on.
God is trying to transition you with some friends. So what? They lied on you. You ain't got to get on Facebook and talk about them. Y'all don't like me. You got to listen to them when God said, leave it alone. Because sometimes you can mess what God up. You can mess what God is doing up in your life because you keep interfering. Tap your neighbor and say, stop interfering. interfering. Now here in the text in verses 13 to 15, James shows us the truth about temptation. Somebody say the truth.
The truth.
The truth about temptation. And it's only when we understand the truth about temptation that we will be able to overcome temptation during our test.
Yeah.
Over this last month, we've tried our best to thoroughly define the word temptation. We told you that there are two meanings to the word temptation. In other words, there are two agendas going on.
Yeah.
The first part of temptation means to test or prove by applying pressure. If you're writing, if you don't have this in your note already, you need to write this down. The first meaning to temptation means to test or prove by applying pressure. That's God's agenda. God is trying to test you, and he's trying to prove you by applying pressure in your life. There's a second meaning to temptation, means to tempt or entice you to do wrong. That's Satan's agenda.
Yeah.
While God is testing you, trying to show you what you're made out of, the devil is trying to tempt you, trying to get you to turn your back on God.
Yeah.
So this means while God is testing you, the devil is tempting you.
Yeah.
While God is proving you, the devil is trying to provoke you.
Yeah.
The devil wants you to get unfocused while God is taking you through your time of testing and proving. Because if you get unfocused while being tested or proven by God, you will ultimately yield to your flesh. It is important that we understand the keys of overcoming temptation during the test. What does it mean to overcome? To overcome means to conquer.
Yeah.
How many want to be a conqueror in here? It means to conquer. It means to defeat. It means to prevail over. It means to gain the victory over. I don't know about you, but I don't want to come to church Sunday after Sunday but not walk in victory.
Yeah.
Do I have anybody besides me feel like that? Amen. I don't want to go to church on Sunday and then on Wednesday and so maybe another night, but I'm not walking in victory. I want to walk in victory all the time. I want to look like I go to church.
Amen.
I want to look like I'm a part of the body of Christ. So how do I overcome temptation while being tempted? I must remain true to the truth that James revealed about temptation in this text. What truths did James reveal to us about temptation? If we're going to overcome temptation during our test, James tells us that we must make sure that we don't fall prey to the deception of temptation. Everybody say that, the deception.
The deception.
Of temptation. He says right there in verse 13, let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God.
Yeah.
For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempted he any man. I promise you, listen to this day, it's going to bless you. I promise you it is. James is saying to us, don't allow yourself to be deceived into thinking somebody else is to blame for you doing wrong.
That's right.
Think about how many people are messed up today because they're still blaming somebody else for their wrongdoing.
Yeah.
Well, if they would have just did it, well, if she would have stopped blaming others for your trouble.
Yeah.
In the book of Genesis, when Adam and Eve fell into sin, Adam tried to shift God's focus by blaming Eve.
Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
And Eve tried to shift God's focus by blaming the serpent. The point is this: man seldom takes responsibility for his own wrongdoing.
Yeah. Amen.
Are y'all with me today? Can I tell you that when you are deceived into thinking that somebody else is at fault for your problems, you'll live your life thinking that everybody, watch this, outside of you is responsible for what's going on inside of you.
Yeah.
Why do I say this? Because not only does this text reveal the deception of temptation, but it also reveals the inception of temptation. What is inception? That means the beginning, the start, the commencement. Where does temptation start with me? He says, but every man is tempted when he is drawn away by his own lust.
Yeah, it's in you already.
It was in you already. She didn't have to make you mad enough to cuss. Cuss was already in you.
Yeah.
If they drove by you and slammed their brakes and you drove by them and put up the wrong finger.
It was in you. It was in you.
Y'all ain't helping me. See, y'all don't like it because I like to talk about real stuff. That's what's in you. And you need to say, Lord, clean me up. I'll overcome temptation during the test when I understand. Give me a few more minutes that the temptation is birthed within me.
Yeah.
Somebody say, it's birthed within me. It's birthed within me. Matter of fact, just look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, I get it now. It's been me all along.
It's been me all along.
Somebody say, I get it now. Well, I've been worried about what somebody else said or what somebody else done. So my life is the way it is because it's been me. Every man is tempted when he is drawn away by his own lust. Give the idea of a desire for what is forbidden. I'm going to say that it gives the idea of desiring things that are forbidden. Just like children.
Yep.
You ever notice children always go to just what they're supposed to do? You ain't even got to teach them. The first thing a baby, when they can kind of walk, they reaching for a plug. Y'all listen to this. I can only be enticed by something that I already have a desire for. And that's why you got to be careful even what you experiment with, because some of you can get messed up with stuff until you experiment it. And then that spirit got in you, now you couldn't shake it. Let's look at how David and Joseph acted totally different to the same temptation. I'm going to do this and we're going to go. David, 2 Samuel 11, 2-4 said, it came to pass in the eventide that David rose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman. Somebody said he saw a woman.
He saw a woman.
Washing herself, and the woman was very beautiful to look upon. Watch this. Verse 3 said, and David said,
yeah.
Look at what good enough. He said, find out who that is right there. Tell her the king want to see. That's what he said. Now, I didn't write this. That's what he said. He could have stopped that song and said, he could have went and prayed and just do it. But no, he saw and he lingered. Look at that water there. He lingered. And then he said, then he sent for it.
Yeah.
Some of us got messed up not because we just looked, but we sent for it. Some of us right now, we can think of some stuff that we went through in our life that we hate we went through. We wish we wouldn't have sent for it. Is there anybody beside me that knows that's something I sure hate I sent for that one? That cost me 8 years of my life. That was terrible. I hate I sent for that one. Man, I wish they would have had a return to sender. He sent him and inquired after the woman, and one said, "Is not?" Now he almost about to get help. His servant said, "Is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife king?"
Yeah.
Man, that's somebody else's wife, man. The wife of Uriah the Hittite. And David sent messengers. Same shit what you saying right now. And David sent messengers and took her, and she came in unto him, and he lay with her, for she was purified from her uncleanness, and she returned unto her house. David saw, and he sent for her. But watch Joseph's response to Potiphar's wife. In Genesis 39, 10-12, he said, it came to pass, as she spake to Joseph day by day, that he hearkened not unto her, to lie by her, or to be with her. And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business, and there was none of the men of the house were there within. And she caught him. She said, I'm going to get you. Y'all better be glad this ain't no adult class. And she caught him by his garment, saying, lie with me. But watch what he did. He took off.
Yeah.
And he left his garment in her hand and fled and got out of there. David yielded to temptation, but Joseph fled. Just because the temptation comes, that don't mean you have to yield. Look at your neighbor and say, run next time. When stuff right. Look at your neighbor and say, run next time. If you run, look at your neighbor and say, run for your life. If you want to live, if you want to keep your joy, run for your life. If you want to keep your praise, run for your life.